A tasty, filling canned chicken recipe anyone can easily make when the power is out for any reason. You can have the ingredients on hand, put them in storage, long-term storage. It's as simple as going on your next shopping trip. Hello, my name is Les, and I want to welcome you to the Cheffprepper channel. And in this video, we're going to make a canned chicken recipe, not once, but twice. The same recipe. The first time, we're going to use the least expensive canned chicken per ounce of meat in the can. And in the second recipe, we're going to use the most expensive canned chicken per ounce in that recipe. Will there be any difference in the outcome of the recipe when we use the least expensive versus the most expensive canned chicken? As it turns out, the least expensive canned chicken turned out to also be the very best value in canned chicken based upon a head-to-head competition of 12 leading brands of canned chicken, which you can see in this video. I won't explain all the details that we went through to determine the best value in canned chicken, but again, you can see that in great detail in that video. And just like the thumbnail you see there says, if you buy canned chicken, you need to watch that video. It will be well worth your time, I assure you. You might be surprised at how well or how poorly your favorite brand of canned chicken does in comparison to the other leading brands' canned chicken. In this video, you're going to see the best value in canned chicken. And as a bonus, at the end of this video, I'll also show you the best value in canned roast beef. And before we get started, I want to say a big thank you to Ty Cobb, who bought me a cup of coffee. Thank you, Mr. Cobb. This is the stove we're going to be using to cook our recipes on today. It's a 2-burner outdoor camping stove, runs on propane. The fuel options for this stove, obviously it's propane, but you can choose between the smaller 16-ounce containers, or you can use the 15-pound containers like you would normally use on your barbecue grill. Now most stoves like this one, they are designed when you get them to use these smaller containers. But if you get the right hose, you can use the larger containers. So I'll put a link in the description below for you guys in the event that you want to get you one of these hoses. Since this video is to determine whether or not a particular brand of chicken will make a difference in an overall chicken recipe, which in this case we're using the most expensive brand per ounce of meat and the least expensive brand per ounce of meat. Now we do know among the leading brands of canned chicken, there's a huge difference in the taste and the texture amongst those brands. Now let's look at the ingredients. We got the chicken, the base, so to speak, of the recipe, and the crackers. We're going to make one meal using Members Mark from Sam's Club and one meal using Kroger's Premium Chicken Breast. We're also going to use a Knorr product, fettuccine in a savory chicken flavored sauce. And I know some of you guys are thinking, well, if this is a meal for long-term grid down SHTF type of events, what about the crackers? I'll explain how to have crackers in your long-term storage when we get around to tasting and eating the meals. There are the instructions for fixing this. Very, very simple from a long-term storage food. Now, let's make those tasty, delicious recipes. We're using a propane stove today, but you could just as easily fix these meals on any number of alternative or emergency type stoves, like in these videos here. So I got our kettles going. I did put 2 cups of water in each kettle. I'm going to cook both recipes at the same time. Now we're cooking outdoors today on a propane stove, but you could just as easily fix these same meals indoors safely if you had the right stove and fuel combination and the right safety equipment. All of that you can see in this video. I highly recommend that you watch that video if you'd like to cook safely indoors. Those are getting hot very quickly. Propane stoves are great if you need to fix things in a big hurry. Recipe 1. Recipe 2. I think it's time to put the fettuccine in. Yep. All right, we'll give those 5, 6, 7 minutes. No artificial flavors or preservatives. No added MSG. We're going to turn these down to more of a simmer. Smells really good. Now I'm not timing it, but I'm pretty sure they're both done. So as the simple instructions on the bag said, we're going to let it stand for a couple of minutes now, and we're going to put the chicken in. We don't need to cook the chicken as it is already cooked. Sam's Club, Members Mark first, the one on the right. And we're going to put the entire contents of the can in, the broth and all. And it is quite a bit of chicken for this recipe, for one bag, but we'll make do. And now Kroger on the left. We will let those set a couple minutes and then we will taste them. All right, here we go. Now the Kroger. I didn't bring another cup to dip out of this one, and I didn't want to mix them. So there is Members Mark from Sam's Club in the kettle. Kroger in the kettle. They look the same to me. Members Mark in the bowl. Kroger in the bowl. The only thing left is in the stomach. Okay, when it comes to the taste test, I don't have anyone with me here today, so I got to do it myself. So it won't be a blind taste test. I'm not going to taste the recipes with the crackers, but when I start eating them as a meal, I'll show you and explain about the crackers. Members Mark from Sam's Club. It is very good. Very good. All right, I know what some of you are going to say, so before I test the Kroger, now the Kroger. It too is very good. I got to go back to the other one to make sure of what I'm going to tell you about them. I know. Okay, I gotta say, I'm a bit surprised. For me, there's a big difference in the taste of the two recipes. They do taste the same, so to speak, but I can tell a big difference in the chicken within the recipe. The Members Mark tastes much better. It has a better texture, and it seems to have absorb the recipe or the flavorings much better than the chicken from Kroger. I don't know why. That's just the way it seems to me. So I'd have to say overall that the brand of chicken makes a big difference in your chicken recipes. Therefore, I highly recommend that you go back to the other video to see which one is the best value and why. Because even though they're the same size can, they look the same, for every 1 can of this, you can get about 3 of these. I don't remember the exact ratio, but you can look it up in that other video. Cheaper, tastes better by itself, and tastes better in the recipes. So now, about those crackers. They will make soups, stews, and so forth better if you don't have bread. Wouldn't it be nice if you bought these crackers, put them on the shelf for 3 years after the power's gone down? How about that? They're vacuum sealed. Really simple to do. We have a video coming out within the next couple of weeks about vacuum packing everyday short-term storage foods for long-term storage. So you know the routine. If you don't want to miss that, subscribe, notification bell, and all the stuff. A Gerber knife, less than $10. This is the best little pocket knife that I've ever had. This one is a new one. I had to get rid of the one I had before, just like it, for a very stupid reason that I won't go into the details of. Nevertheless, if you're looking for a pocket knife, I'm not associated with them, but I will put a link to this knife down below also. Oops. And this recipe is a soup-like consistency. You will like having this in your prepper pantry when the time comes. Do you have a favorite brand of canned chicken? If you do, let us know what that is down in the comments below. And at the beginning of this video, I told you I would also show you the best value in canned roast beef. In this video, we did a head-to-head comparison of the leading brands of canned roast beef, very similar to the way we did the leading brands of canned chicken in this video, and we determined the best value in canned roast beef. And the best value in canned roast beef? Butterfeld from Sam's Club. If you're concerned about putting canned food into your prepper pantry for long-term storage, then you will really like this video.